So we're all turning the wheel of Dharma, the three wheels of study, contemplation, and practice. And beautiful. And when thinking about just as we begin any practice, of course, we're always going to be beginning with reconnecting with our pure motivation. And here too, with our pure motivation of Dharma practice, Dharma contemplation, Dharma study, we're connecting with these three motivations: our renunciation, our bodhicitta, our pure perception, So again, we hear this again and again and again. And the point is, in one voice from all of our great root teachers, Khenpo Tsewang Rinpoche, Khenpo Tsewang Dongyal Rinpoche, Dudjom Rinpoche, all in one voice, all the way to the pure primordial Buddhas. Motivation is pure. And by connecting with these three motivations, with our joy, our appreciation, more contentment, more appreciation, less fixation, more contentment, we're able to just be, right? And that's the essence of our Hinayana, or foundational practices. Really connecting with the pure motivation of our bodhicitta, that our practice can truly be of benefit for countless sentient beings, that through actualizing our vast aspirations of bodhicitta, we can actually become the sources of refuge and benefit for all beings to find their own peace. And then through the vast connecting with our devotion and trust with the purity of all innate in all phenomena, the innate goodness qualities of our own mind and heart, as well as every living being and all phenomena arising. That's the essence of our Vajrayana practice. And we're beginning with this vital instructions, because that's the whole path. That's the whole practice. Where with each stage, even though we have these stages in our practice of like good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, it means we're not leaving anything behind. We're touching home base. We're settling into our joy, our appreciation, vast bodhicitta, open, trusting, devotion and pure perception as best we can with that purity aspect of things. That's the essence of the path. That's the whole path. That's all the whole 9 yanas in being practiced in one drop, And then as we progress and continue with our study, our contemplation, our practice, it's only becoming more and more rich. But these are the three vital ingredients. And then kind of along with that, I just thought to remind myself and all of us too of, wisdom is so vital to the practice, right? Seeing things as they are. And so as we sit down to practice, or do anything in the day, again, in that same kind of tone, the ideal is we're touching home base with our practice, not as an escape or a escape room, but more as like connecting what's always present. And of course, really central in the Buddhist teachings is the great awareness of great emptiness. So, often I think we don't necessarily have it in our Ngondro practice, but in many of the sadhanas we practice, we have this really famous mantra, Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddho Hang. So you may or may not remember some of that, but the point is, that's really essential view in the teachings, that again, as we start our practice, as we continue our practice, remaining in an open way, connecting with this view of what? Of the great emptiness, the openness of our situation, that we are, like Rinpoche say, connecting with the transcendental wisdom rainbow body of our experience. Nothing is fixed, nothing is solid, nothing is permanent, independent. Everything is open, really connecting. So Om, again, this is the point of this is remembering this basic view we're trying to not only hold, but establish with our meditation, support with our conduct, and eventually we have the fruit, right? So Om Sobhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sobhava Shuddho Hang. Of course, this Sanskrit language is so profound. There's no one meaning to these mantras, but some things we can connect with conceptually here and release into the great ocean are, Om is just, again, like auspiciousness of all that is appearing. And Swabhava is kind of like self-nature. Shuddha means purity. The purity of the true nature that doesn't have any fabrication or kind of contrivedness. Just from beginningless time, the self-nature is always present and open. And Sarva Dharma is, all, Sarva is all, Dharma, all phenomena. All phenomena is open, empty of being solid, independent, permanent. Sobhava Shuddho Hang, we're doing to maintain our connection with the nature of innate purity, the openness of our situation. So we're right, the difference in the teachings between fully realized Buddha and ordinary being is the degree to which we recognize that purity nature, that open nature, that brilliant, sizzling wisdom nature, omniscient, love, compassion, wisdom. So remembering in our practice, we're not trying to become or be something we're not. We're just trying to really connect with how things are and dispel, what's untrue, dispel our wrong views. So I guess without getting too wordy here, the point here is when we're beginning our practice to just really, as much as we can, connect with that view of openness, emptiness, or in some ways like recognizing the dream of our experience. Because again, the emptiness nature, clearly the Buddha pointed, isn't a void state, a dull state, a negation state. It's beyond existing, not existing, both, neither. And our path is to connect with that. And so, something I think we all can relate to is if it is our dreams themselves. Recognizing this is a dream in the big sense. Of course, we have our dreams at night, and maybe I'm sure everyone to some degree has had the experience of while we're sleeping in a dream, sleep dream, recognizing it was a dream to some degree. And that's something very independent and personal, but what does our mind do with that when that happens, And similarly, in this bardo of this life, of which our dreams are another bardo, the Buddha says, right, like dreams, fire rings, clouds, dew, bubbles, magical displays, thus we should view all compounded things, all phenomena. So when we're beginning our practice, just sitting in that open question, recognizing this is a dream. Yes, we're all always, no matter what, no matter how painful and obscured our experience, or no matter which level of the bhumis we're on, or the paths, always and forever, beyond the 3 times, our experience is inseparable from this purity, primordial openness nature of our own mind. And so in some ways, we don't have to worry, oh, I'm not enlightened, or like, oh, I'm like feeling really anxious, and like, or whatever. Or so just as we start our practice, just being however we connect, recognizing this is a dream, this is open, this is my own mind. We each are sovereigns of our own experience. You know, like we say in another one of our refuge prayers and our bodhicitta prayers, you know, samsara and nirvana are the same. It's our perspective that makes the difference. Therefore, we expand and connect with our bodhicitta that's pervading all our experiences. And so even at the beginning of our practice, we're starting with connecting with that openness. That again isn't a blank state, but just recognizing, even if we're recognizing, oh, this is a dream, this is my mind, this is timeless emptiness shining forth as this reality of this moment. That's part of this connecting with the 5 perfections in our devotion, you know. This is the perfect place, the perfect time, the perfect teacher, perfect teachings, perfect assembly to recognize the always and forever dharma of wisdom, compassion, power, love, that's always pervading, no matter what our experience. And again, not to deny how we're feeling, but sometimes, you know, it can help us kind of just get a little breath and openness to our situation, recognizing that. You know, like I think Khenpo says in one of his great treatises that's showing the whole path, you know, the nature of samsara is what? Miracle of not knowing how things are, right? Ignorance, attachment, aversion. So as the nature of samsara is empty and open, and its quality is confusion and challenge and suffering. And the nature of samsara, of the nature of nirvana is also emptiness, but its quality is freedom from suffering, openness, omniscience, wisdom, peace. So just having those little views, or even as we're doing the visualization, I think not disassociating or thinking our current experience is wrong in a moral sense. We've had wrong view, right, of that things, I'm solid, I exist, you know, there's things that can help me and things that can hurt me and all of that. Really briefly, crudely said. But what we're feeling, if we can just remember that this is all based in our own great, vast nature. And even though we might be like little babes in the brambles, we have the great support of like the living Buddhas who have fully recognized that nature and who effortlessly, indestructibly, naturally, uncontrived, are always shining and displaying to bring us, support to recognize that nature. Or as we're visualizing ourselves as Yeshe Sojal and doing our Guru Yoga with Guru Padmasambhava, of course the visualization is wonderful and really helps us to recognize, to kind of get out of our habitual pattern of our fixed idea of what's possible. But at the same time, we don't want to be pushing away our current perceptions as well. Just kind of gently remembering that it's all purity, it's all empty. And the point of our practice is we're gradually becoming more and more familiar with how things are, more and more sorry, I'm just going to look at my notes a little. More and more familiar with how things are until we have that. And our Ngondro practice itself, like I mentioned at the beginning, it is the foundation practices for our Dzogchen, for the great perfection. That means it's setting the stage with our Ngondro practice are all the foundations for recognizing this emptiness awareness that's, again, beyond, extremes. Again, recognizing the dream, recognizing the dreamer, looking to the looker, resting in that place, not rejecting our current experience for what it's not, and not fixating or grasping and contracting into what we think it is, but kind of this middle way approach. That mind is beyond all extremes of how we could posit things are, just resting in that openness. So, realizing the great perfection. And then these foundation practices we're doing just are helping us to deepen our realization of that, right? And so again, all these 5 main sections of our Ngondro, from the very beginning, we're starting with remembering this great openness awareness, even though we may not have this mantra I mentioned at the beginning. Just even Hong, from the very beginning, Hong, our emptiness awareness, the true face of the Lama, through all the unfoldings and meanings of the 7-line prayer, reflecting on the 4 thoughts, again remembering the Lama, reflecting on the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma, towards what's true and reliable, which is the essence of taking refuge, right? In the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, in the 3 roots, the Guru, the Yidam, Dakini, in the 3 aspects of true nature of our own mind, the 3 kayas, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. And again, we're taking refuge in the Buddha, the 3 jewels, the 3 roots, all embodied as Guru Padmasambhava, as the embodiment of all the fully awakened ones. But also inherently is also that we have the deep trust in our own innate goodness, in nature qualities. And we're just beyond duality, mingling with recognizing our true nature. And again, before, this great realization of wisdom and openness, awareness, emptiness awareness, we connect with our bodhicitta motivation. We try to actualize that, again, through what? By accumulating our merit, which always begins with the activity of, kindling all the fire of activating the accumulation of merit, which is essentially, a generous heart that's aware of great openness and emptiness, and dedicating courageously everything towards the realization of nature. And then in our Vajrasattva practice, recognizing, purifying our mistaken and twisted view, and our mistaken and, troublesome meditation, and our, really unsatisfying conduct, be it from just not recognizing we haven't fully recognized the dream, or along with that, any ways that we've kind of acted against what we know is better. So, but the essence here is like purifying, realigning with right view, right meditation, right conduct. So I hope I'm not confusing people here. I was just saying we always have a view, and we always are doing things that can help uphold that view and make it seem, see how it's more, strengthen that view, and conduct that holds that up. So here, by wrong view, I'm meaning the wrong view that we're solid, independent, permanent. That wrong view. And all the ways in which we help to support that with our hopes and fears and actions done out of hope and fear and ignorance, that creates what? Samsara. But no, here we're recognizing that mistake and purifying through the four powers, and connecting with the right view of openness, bodhicitta, continuing with our, again, what we truly mean on the path of Dharma, with right view, meditation that upholds the view of recognizing the openness of our mind, conduct of accumulating merit that creates more and more circumstances on the relative level for us to bring about that peace and harmony and balance and realization of wisdom, whose fruit is, again, moving through the paths and bhumis all the way to Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. And then again, purifying, yes, but then the supreme blessings of the Guru Yoga, of again mingling our mind with the essence of all the fully enlightened ones, of all time and space, embodied as Guru Padma Sambhava, inseparable from the root teachers of this life, inseparable from the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, inseparable from, the Guru, Deva, Dakini, fully realized three kaya, and mingling ourselves with that, with again the great support of Guru Padma Sambhava and our root teacher, their instructions, taking them to heart is what we're trying to do. Like we say in our prayers, again from that very first Hong of emptiness awareness, through, even in the Guru Yoga, at the end of Guru Yoga, what do? We have that prayer, Guru, Lama, embodiment of all the Buddhas of the 3 times. Please be aware of me in this and future lives and in the bardo, in these 3. Hold me with your compassion. Bless me ceaselessly throughout the 3 times, making that deep connection. Again, no matter what our current perception, keeping that beautiful connection. And then again, even at the very end of our practice, we're connecting with the true nature, the great perfection, and the Lama, right? Deity, mantra, and dharmakaya are the nature of all appearance, sound, and awareness, the pervasive kaya and wisdom display of the Buddhas. May we practitioners of the profound and secret great perfection, we students on the path, we babes, may we remain inseparable from the innermost one-taste awareness of wisdom mind in our own direct experience, but also kind of remembering inseparable from the Lama. So maybe I've had enough banter, but let's do the practice. Remembering the great openness, great awareness as we go, connecting with our joy, our devotion, our bodhicitta, recognizing this dream as a dream, looking to the dreamer, and then engaging, again with the view, meditation, conduct. So we'll just do 7-line prayer, and then we'll go to the Ngondro,